Sounds great. Thank you so much. So, hi everyone. Thanks for doing this.
Hi.
For my viewers and my readers, can you tell us a little bit about what Matriarch is about, and then also Jemima and Kate, your two characters?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yes. I'll do that.
Over to you.
So it's a horror film. It's a kind of it kind of draws on a little bit on, or well, quite a lot on kind of folk horror and kind of body horror. But it's also kind of draws a bit on more kind of, I don't know, the more kind of eccentric kind of quite almost like whimsical, very kind of English sort of blackly comic horrors, like the Wicker Man is the obvious example. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of Wicker Man in Matriarch, to put it mildly. Maybe also things like the Devils, just that kind of, just a bit of kind of like black humor, kind of almost sort of bordering on. I mean, Matriarch it's sort of knowingly kind of absurd almost at times. So I was trying to, I don't know. I mean, I guess the audiences will decide for themselves. I was trying to pull on a lot of threads at the same time and kind of weave them into something that kind of holds together. So kind of we'll see.
Thank you.
And I play Laura in it, who is a woman who is sort of about to sort of reach her rock bottom, as it were, and it sort of culminates with her nearly overdosing, and with nowhere else to turn, she ends up going back to her family home to see the mother who has caused all this. And enter Kate Dickie.
Yeah, and my character Celia is not what she appears on the surface, and she has a whole different agenda going on as well. So she kind of gets Laura to come back home on the kind of pretext of wanting to look after her and care for her, because she knows she's at a really bad place in her life. But it unfolds into something that you're maybe not quite expecting.
Absolutely. And one of the things, as a queer horror fan and as a queer man, one of the things I've enjoyed recently a lot in movies is that queer characters are a little bit more messy now. Like we're allowed to not be the kind of perfect monolith that represents everything, that we're allowed to kind of be messy like Laura's character. And I was curious about that character process, both as a writer and an actor, kind of portraying that.
I mean, so I'm glad you asked that question, actually, and I'd be really interested in your point of view on it, Terry, because Laura being gay it just felt right to me, and it wasn't. I kind of wasn't going out. I wasn't. There's no kind of. I'm not trying to kind of make any kind of point particularly, which it just seemed like when I was writing it just felt like she should be gay, so she is, and I kind of would be interested to know if you think that's like a kind of a positive thing, that that a kind of a straight writer isn't, we've got to a point now where you can just be like, I think this character's gay, in a way that you would never be asked. I don't know, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm not saying you asked this question, but in the way that you would never be asked, why is this character straight? I'm hoping that it's kind of like, I don't know, Laura's gay because she is. And it's, you know what I mean? There was, and for me, at least consciously, there was kind of nothing kind of more than that. It just kind of felt right, basically.
For me, playing Laura, it was part of, from the beginning of the movie, she's other. She's something, she doesn't feel connected to her life in the right way. Everything's slightly dysfunctional, and she doesn't know why. And the gay aspect of that, I feel, is from her past. It was part of escaping home, growing up in a tiny village where there was just this one other person that she kind of felt connected and safe to and had a relationship with. And because of everything else back home, she had to run away from that. And she's never found a meaningful relationship since then. And it just plays into that in just every sort of area of her life. There is nothing conventional about her, and she can't, no matter what she's looking for, she can't find. And it's sort of to do with that history, but it also is something that makes her, for me, a really strong character. And there's this sort of need for her to be grasping at life and living her life, and so much so that she sort of turns her back on her one love that she's had, and the one person that was there for her.
Oh man, I wish I had more time to dig into this all with you, but I do have to unfortunately go. But thank you all so much. I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you for having us.